as well as at the time of this crisis, how technology helping us. Please, sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Deepti, for the question. So technology is important, like we are all observing right now. So we are connected through a technology platform, right? Zoom. But technology can only help us to some extent. It can only provide us either a platform or some insights. But as Vimal sir said, sportsmen are not made at home, right? Sportsmen have to go on the field, go on the court and perform. So we can use technology to better our performance or better our lifestyles if we are recreational sportsmen. So I'll give you 4 examples of how technology can help improve or help generate insights. So there's a company called Prevent Biometrics. It manufactures something called a smart gum shield or a smart mouth guard. So this is for players who are into contact sports like boxing or hockey or football or soccer. So what it does, it collects data about the injuries, right? Suppose there's a collision on a field. So it will calculate data, it will create data and then inform the people on the sidelines through an app or through a website how serious is the injury. Will it lead to a serious brain injury at a later date, or is it all right? This player can continue playing. So an immediate action can be taken by the support staff, by the doctor, so as to apply some procedures on the player and to make him healthy again. That's one example. Now, second example is running, right? So all of us running, Dr. Tomar talked about running, he's a marathoner. So in that, form is very important. All of us know, and especially for professional athletes, for professional runners who are marathoners, form is important. So how the feet is striking, is there any pronation in the feet, or are there any injury proneness to the people? So what a company does, there's a company called Nerve Run. They have created something called a shoe liner. So in the shoe liner, they have 32 sensors. So these 32 sensors record all the details about the form of the runner. So it will collect data about how many times the person strikes on the ground in a minute. So all those things it will collect, and then it will tell that if the form is not corrected, if the athlete doesn't correct the form, it might lead to injury later on. So it gives an insight, it gives inputs to the people, and it collects data around 1,000 times in a minute. So that's the kind of data it generates. But ultimately the runner has to implement those changes suggested by this app and he can perform better. The third example is that of artificial intelligence. So there's a company called Digital Therapeutics. It has an app called Kaya, K-A-I-A. It helps athletes with smartphone based physio treatments. So it has a chat option also. So it will record through a 2D camera the physiotherapy session that the athlete is going through, and then based on the way he does those sessions, it will provide insights as to whether you are doing it correctly, how many repetitions more you need, how many sessions more you need. It also has a chat bot which is AI enabled, so that athlete can ask questions and the chat bot answers on its own. And in some cases when the chat bot is not able to answer, it is beyond the scope of the chat bot, it passes on the question to an expert and the expert answers those questions. This is one example. And the last, the most famous example is that of the movie called Moneyball. There's a book by Michael Lewis of the same name, Moneyball. So the example that he gives is of a baseball team in the US called Oakland A. So they use statistics or analytics to recruit players in their teams. The problem they were facing was they had smaller budgets as compared to their competitors, and they thought because of the smaller budget we are not able to hire the right kind of players, and they had never won that major baseball league, which is quite popular in the US. So they started a program, an analytics based program, database program, which was for player recruitment. They called it Sabermetrics. And using that, they, within the limited budget, they looked at the statistics of different players across the country, across the US, and selected the best players possible within their budget. And believe me, they won the next 20 games in a row, which no other team in America had ever done before. So they use analytics for the betterment of their teams and betterment of their players. So these are some of the examples that support the technology can be a good servant but a bad master. And ultimately, players have to perform on their own. They have to go to the ground. They have to go to the field. So that's my input. Thank you, Dr. Deepti.
Thanks for your insights, sir, on this topic. Very nicely, you have explained the importance of technology in sports and how we can do better when we collaborate with each other, and if in present scenario as well as in future for better results. Now, I would like to ask question from Professor Dr. Archana Chahal, Head Department of Allahabad University. Some of our participants want to know, ma'am, role of exercise science for female athletes and non-athletes.
Good question there. First of all, I tribute to Goddess of Knowledge, Ma Saraswati, Shyat's family, organizing or participating in this great webinar. And this question is very, very important because the female are the backbone of the not only the family, even the society. And we are create the future generation. If our health or our fitness, it is not up to the mark, then how we can serve best? This is the basic funda behind the women fitness or health. But problem is this, as your topic is there, the role of exercises. क्या ये role of exercises हम उस लेवल पर पहुंचा पा रहे हैं? क्या हम जितनी भी researches and developments we have continuously done and we create the feathers in our cap, it is at the lower level also, it is at the middle class also, or it is for the sports person, in such a vast area have covered or not? So this is the not only the planning of fitness or exercise program for female, because they have think only we are busy lots. Even the professional or non-professional, domestic women or outsider going women also, they have think we are busy in our household work so much. I am very much busy in my office work. So they have think only about their work, not about their fitness, how it is sought out. So firstly, your work is your work only. If you want to do your work in a systematic and more energetic and also in service best, you must be keep your body fit. So if I go ahead, there is an attitude. We have think all are about attitude. We have attitude but lack of action. अगर हमें एक्शन की है तो एक्शन के बाद we have seen the corrections. Who told us we do the exercises in correct way or not way? So same problem with the female also. If they are going for the walking with their spouse or maybe today's days are in the home also, they do the exercises. If they have only those few asanas, even she's not aware about the correctness of their asanas. No one is there to do the corrections and that form. So which type of model or which type of exercise plan we can frame for them? It is a great challenge to all physical educationists or exercise science professionals. So this is a big gap between the exercise science and the learners. We must be fill out this gap with the help of so many dimensions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable views. Now I have next question for Dr. Brij Kishore, Assistant Professor, LNIP, Gwalior. Sir, I have question for you. Multidisciplinary approach of physical education and sports, how it can contribute in other areas also. Please throw some light on this. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Hello, Dipti. Thank you very much. I want to share the screen, please. Is it visible? Dipti, is it visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. I am grateful to SEAT for providing opportunity to have the talk on one of the burning issues for all over the world, not for the nation, for all over the world. The thing is that this is the Olympic year, and we know that if the COVID was not there, we would have watching the Olympic right now. But even though it's the Olympic year before the COVID, people are not talking about the fitness, games, and sports. But the COVID had given the platform for all the physical.
शरीर में बहुत सारे वायरस पहले से हैं और हो सकता है कि नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर में हम कोविड-19 को भी अपने साथ कैरी करके चले, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी क्योंकि इट विल बी इन द नाउ इनएक्टिव स्टेट. सो अनलेस this problem is solved, I think the body contact game should be avoided. Other training can be given which are far जो अलग अलग कर सकते हैं. Otherwise wrestling, like wrestling, judo, where more than 2 persons are involving at a time, this should be avoided. और कब तक ये रहेगा पेंडेमिक, ये कोरोना, इसका अभी कोई किसी को नहीं मालूम है अभी ये. सो और हमें अगला जो फ्यूचर होगा, मुझे लगता है कि ये पोस्ट कोरोना नहीं होगा, इट विल बी विद कोरोना होगा. तो हमें कोरोना के साथ ही रहना है, तो हमें प्रिपेयर होना है उसके लिए कि हम रेडी रहें उस चीज के लिए.
Thank you, sir. Now I have next question from our participant side. I would like to ask this question to Professor Dr. Sanjay Floria. Sir, what do you expect from the experts of exercise sciences or from government which can contribute to health of common people significantly? Those who are not from our field, means physical education and sports, they want to know about this. So please throw some light on this.
Thank you, Dr. Deepti, for the question. So I have basically 2 points here. Now, everyone talks about the physical infrastructure. Physical infrastructure now is developing for other sports other than cricket now. So it's at a better stage, especially I live in Hyderabad, so we have a very good infrastructure for tennis. We have a good infrastructure for badminton as well. We have the Pulela Gopichan Academy. But as a parent, apart from this, we also need digital infrastructure. Looking at the COVID situation right now, when we are sitting at home or when the physical sports is not possible, can we get advice or can we get inputs from experts like you, experts like my esteemed co-panelists here, where people like me, common men, common people can ask questions and get suitable responses. For example, my son plays tennis. Now, I have no idea as to which university. Is there a sports university in India where he can enroll? I don't have an answer. I can obviously Google that, but Google, as we all know, Google confirms our biases. So I will search for something and I'll only get to the thing that I know already, right? So it's a good place to get the answer that you already have. So if we have a website or an app or some digital infrastructure where we can have meetings like this and I can ask those questions, it would be greatly beneficial. And parents like me can make a choice, and students can also make a choice as to which university, a sports university, a person can go to. So that is the first point I have. And the second point could be for recreational sports enthusiasts like me. Again, those people also have similar questions. One question right now I have is, I see people running around me these days in lockdown with their masks on. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I don't know. I get both types of answers from the internet. Some people say it is bad for health. It could lead to hypoxia. Now, if experts like my co-panelists here who are in the exercise science, who are exercise scientists, if they can provide me an answer, if they can provide them an answer, maybe they will be better advised, maybe not to run, or remove your mask while you are running, or wait for some time before you start running, things like that. So my suggestion or my question or my point is to have a digital infrastructure in parallel with the physical infrastructure. It could be provided by the government, or it could be provided by educational institutions, the sports institutions like yours, SHUADS, or other institutions, where people like us can pose questions and get answers from experts. So that's my point. Those are my points. Thank you, Dr. Deepti.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to ask next question to Dr. Brij Kishore. Sir, some of these questions are from the side of participants only. So, one of the participant is asking about how we can reduce already accumulated body fat when we are having balance in our diet, means we are taking balanced diet, but which fat we already accumulated in our body, how we can reduce it, or how much time it will take. Basic suggestions for that.
Thank you, Dipti. Before I took on my same question, but I would like to answer Sanjay sir also, that he is asking about whether the mask is to be removed or to be put on. Sir, as mask is a part and parcel of our life now. I've been to Bangkok in 2010, sir, and I was there for Winter Olympic Games organization. I found that people from Korea and Japan, they were using the mask at that time. It is around 10 years back. You know, they are using, and you can check the figures of those countries who are having the practice of putting masks just because of dust only. Now the cases of COVID are very less in those countries. Same is here also, sir. We have to avoid putting masks if we are doing any heavy activities, not the sports, any heavy activity where you require additional amount of oxygen for your body, right, sir? But yes, while you're running, you can put on or put on. It's up to you. If you're running with a good speed, you have to remove it. If you're running with a mild speed, very less speed, you can say, then you can just keep your mask little bit down, just preventing your air, and so that the air passage will be very much clear. I hope it's clear, sir.
Thank you, Brij Kishore, sir. Those are the kinds of answers people like us are looking forward to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now the second question which Briti has put on, that about the fat and those things. See, reducing fat is a trick. That trick is captured by the professionals. They very rarely share about those tricks, how to reduce the fat. But one of the most important factor about reducing the fat is that you have to work beyond your capacity to reduce it. It's not that we stop working when we start having fatigue. If you really want to go for reducing that fatigue from your fat from your body, you have to work for longer duration, maybe more than 30 minutes. Maybe more than 30 minutes is obvious. Yes, it is a must.